For over 200 million years, crocodiles have ruled rivers and wetlands, untamed, unchallenged, and unstoppable. But today, in a quiet revolution hidden behind high fences and guarded tanks, millions of these prehistoric predators are being bred with surgical precision, not for the wild, but for the world's runways and restaurants. From the murky hatcheries of Southeast Asia to state-of-the-art processing plants in Australia, the global crocodile farming industry has become a billion-dollar ecosystem. It produces some of the world's most luxurious leather and one of the most unusual meats. But how does it all work? How do you raise a creature born to hunt and turn it into a product so refined it lands in the hands of Hermes or on a dinner plate in Tokyo? It's a story of biology, precision, and control, where nothing is wasted and every scale counts. Before a crocodile becomes a handbag or a high-protein delicacy, it begins as something far more delicate, a soft-shelled egg, about the size of a mango, tucked away in an artificially monitored nest. Each year, crocodile farms around the world collect tens of thousands of eggs from two sources: wild habitats and in-farm breeding stock. In regions like Northern Australia and Papua New Guinea, licensed egg collectors brave swamps and marshes, tracking nesting females and retrieving the eggs with utmost care. Elsewhere, in controlled environments, mature crocodiles are paired and bred in captivity, where humidity, temperature, and light cycles are regulated to encourage egg laying.
They are remarkable hunters, guys. So the lesson, just because you can't see a crocodile, does not mean that they are not there. Tiger! Good man, come on. We'll see if we can get him up, guys. We're going to give him a bit of tucker today. One really handy technique crocodiles have out in the wild is they can launch their bodies vertically up out of the water. The bigger the crocodile, the further they can launch. This animal here should be able to jump.
Once collected, the eggs are placed in high-tech incubators. And here, the science gets remarkably precise. Temperature isn't just about hatching success, it determines gender. At around 31.6 degrees, 89 Fahrenheit, the embryos are more likely to become males, which grow larger and faster, ideal for leather production. Adjustments of even a degree can shift the entire hatch's gender ratio. After 70 to 90 days of incubation, the eggs start to crack. Tiny snouts push through the shells as hatchlings emerge, about 25 centimeters long, squirming and alert. They're immediately transferred to juvenile tanks, where they begin the next phase of their engineered lives. These tanks mimic the crocodile's natural wetland habitat, but with strict human control. Clean, heated water circulates constantly. The lighting simulates day and night cycles. And most importantly, space is limited. Farmers carefully manage the number of hatchlings per enclosure to avoid aggression and cannibalism, which are common in the wild. Stress leads to scars, and scars damage the leather. That's bad for business. At this stage, feeding is frequent but tightly measured. Hatchlings are fed a soft, protein-rich mash, typically a mix of fish, chicken, and supplements, to maximize growth and bone density. Over the next 6 to 12 months, they double or even triple in size. By their second year, most crocodiles reach over a meter in length, but to meet the high standards of fashion-grade leather, they need to reach 1.8 to 2.2 meters, typically by year 3. Only then are they ready for processing. Each crocodile's journey is carefully tracked using microchips or barcodes. Every meal, growth spurt, and health check is recorded. In this industry, predictability equals profit. But before a crocodile ever leaves the rearing tanks, it must pass strict inspections, both for skin quality and overall health. If it doesn't meet grade, it's either held longer or used solely for meat production. In the end, every crocodile is raised for a purpose, and nothing in this process, from the egg to the final cut, is left to chance. To successfully raise millions of crocodiles for commercial use, one thing matters above all else: control. Then comes feeding. Crocodiles are carnivores and their diets are custom engineered for efficiency. In the early stages, they are fed finely ground meat, often a mix of fish meal, poultry byproducts, vitamins, and calcium. As they grow, the diet shifts toward chunkier portions, but always measured precisely to avoid overfeeding, which leads to obesity, or underfeeding, which delays harvest. Feeding usually happens once every 2 to 3 days. Crocodiles are territorial and will bite, sometimes fatally. Not only is this a welfare issue, it's a commercial problem. A single bite mark on the belly can reduce the leather's value by over 80%. That's why population density is calculated down to the square meter. And every step is designed to ensure that when the crocodile reaches full size, it's not just big and strong, it's flawless. Once a crocodile reaches its optimal size, typically between 1.8 and 2.2 meters, it's time for the final stage, harvesting. But contrary to popular belief, this process isn't brutal or chaotic. It's designed to be precise, controlled, and humane, not just for ethical reasons, but also for the preservation of high-quality skin and meat. Crocodiles selected for slaughter are removed from their enclosures one by one. This isn't done in the open, but in enclosed holding pens, calm, dimly lit areas where stress is minimized. Crocodiles are cold-blooded, so farmers often lower the ambient temperature in these areas to reduce activity and aggression. In the crocodile industry, skin is king. The leather from just one animal, especially from the smooth belly region, can fetch thousands of dollars, depending on its size, color, and quality. But extracting that value is a delicate art, where even a single slip of the knife can ruin everything. Once the crocodile is confirmed deceased, it's transported to the skinning room, a sterile, temperature-controlled environment where speed and precision are paramount. The process can take 15 to 30 minutes per animal, longer if the crocodile is large, or if the skin is intended for top-tier clients like Hermes, Gucci, or Louis Vuitton. Once removed, the skin is thoroughly washed to eliminate blood, fat, and contaminants. It's then salted or frozen, depending on the next step in its journey. High-end farms typically process the leather in-house or ship it to specialty tanneries in Italy, France, or Japan. But before tanning begins, the skin is graded. This is where the science meets commerce. Graders look for scars or bite marks from aggression in captivity, scale symmetry and alignment, skin thickness and elasticity, coloration consistency. Top-grade skins are almost flawless. These go to fashion houses for handbags, wallets, belts, and luxury shoes. Lower-grade skins may be used for watch straps, small accessories, or experimental materials. Skins deemed unfit for leather are often discarded or repurposed for scientific study. Now begins the transformation from raw hide to finished leather. This multi-week process takes place in tanneries, and it includes 1. Soaking, rehydrating the dried or frozen skin. 2. Liming, breaking down hair follicles and protein structures. 3. Fleshing, mechanically removing any remaining flesh or fat. 4. Tanning, soaking in C5, neutralizing and dyeing, balancing pH and applying base color. 6. Fat liquoring, infusing oils to make the leather soft and flexible. 7. Drying, conditioning, and finishing, smoothing, stretching, and adding protective coatings. Throughout the process, quality control is constant. Any imperfections are documented, and samples are often tested for durability, tensile strength, and color fastness. The final product is luxurious, durable, and unique, each skin bearing a natural pattern no machine can replicate. For the fashion world, this is not just material, it's a status symbol. At auction, a single flawless crocodile skin can sell for $1,000 to $3,000. And it may eventually retail as a $40,000 handbag. From swamp to storefront, the value has multiplied exponentially. But the story doesn't end with the skin. What remains of the crocodile, bones, organs, and meat is also processed. Because in this industry, nothing is wasted. While crocodile skin may steal the spotlight, the meat it leaves behind is far from waste. In fact, crocodile meat is now a rising star in exotic cuisine, praised for its low fat, high protein, and surprisingly mild flavor. Once the skin is removed, the crocodile carcass is transferred to the butchering section of the facility, where chilled stainless steel tables and sanitation protocols rival those of any modern meat processing plant. To some, the idea of eating crocodile may seem unusual or even off-putting, but for those in the know, it's a delicacy rooted in heritage, now finding a home in modern, health-conscious kitchens. And like every other part of the crocodile, the meat tells its own story, a story of sustainability, precision, and value. Let's start with the fat, a pale, dense substance found along the tail and belly. Once extracted, it's slowly rendered down into a clear oil, often referred to as crocodile oil. This oil has been used for centuries in traditional medicine, especially across parts of Asia and Africa. Today, it's making a comeback in the global market as an ingredient in luxury skincare products. Why? Because crocodile oil contains high levels of omega-3, omega-6, and omega-9 fatty acids, along with antibacterial properties. It's believed to help with skin conditions like eczema, burns, and scars. Some boutique cosmetic brands now sell crocodile oil creams and serums at premium prices. Then there are the bones. After meat is removed, the skeleton is collected, pressure washed, and either crushed into bone meal for livestock feed or fertilizer, carved into jewelry or decorative items for local markets, boiled into broth and reduced into extracts marketed as health tonics. The teeth and claws, often discarded in the past, are now polished and sold as trinkets, keychains, pendants, or even mounted in gold as rare jewelry. In some indigenous cultures, even the blood isn't wasted. Some pharmaceutical researchers have explored its potential antimicrobial properties, noting that crocodiles rarely suffer infections from their often brutal fights. Extracts from crocodile blood are now being studied for possible use in new antibiotics, particularly in the fight against drug-resistant bacteria. And let's not forget the internal organs. The heart and liver, cleaned and frozen, may be sold for traditional medicines in some countries. Stomach linings are sometimes dried and ground into powders used in folk remedies. In essence, the crocodile is a closed-loop resource. What begins as a single egg ends in a dozen marketable products, spanning fashion, food, cosmetics, medicine, and craft. It's a testament to just how far the industry has evolved, not just in scale, but in sophistication. Because when millions of animals are involved, waste is no longer an option. From wild riverbanks to climate-controlled farms, from armored predators to luxury goods and gourmet dishes, the journey of the crocodile is nothing short of astonishing. And whether you agree with the practice or not, one thing is certain: in this billion-dollar global industry, nothing is accidental, and nothing is wasted. If you found this video fascinating, we've got more behind-the-scenes journeys just like this, straight from factory floors, farms, and processing lines around the world. Subscribe now and hit the bell icon to never miss a story. Like, comment, and share if you want more content on how things are made, from the raw to the refined. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay curious.